because वो वाली जो practice है ना, it brings out a lot of feelings, I feel. And इस पूरी बुक में रोंडा बर्न्स बार बार बोलती है कि everything is about the feelings, and that's why I was stressing on that exercise, because lot of feelings, lot of realizations come when we do that practice, and every single time we do that practice, the same kind of intense feelings come. So do it. If you haven't, I would strongly recommend to do that practice for everybody. Okay, let's do this. Works like magic, day 6. If you take any activity, any art, any discipline, any skill, take it and push it as far as it will go. Push it beyond where it has ever been before. Push it to the wildest edges of edges. Then you force it into the realm of magic. Tom Robbins wrote it. I think he was born in 1936, or he wrote it in 1936. I'm not sure, but that's his quote. How can it be that a person who is born into total poverty starts out without nothing and has very little education, goes on to become a president or a celebrity, or builds an empire and becomes one of the wealthiest people in the world? And how is it that two people can start out in the same career, and yet one person's career goes from success to even greater success, while the other person works himself or herself into the ground with little success, no matter how hard they try? So we have all seen examples, like Modi is the biggest example, where he started from very small, and look where he's sitting now. Two people can start in a career. One person's growth is totally towards a peak on a graph, whereas the other person doesn't get that much growth. How is that possible? No matter how hard some people try, they don't get it. But some people, they just grow so much, whether it is wealth, whether it is career, whether it is recognition, whether it is fame, they just keep on growing. How is all that possible? The missing link to success is gratitude. Because according to the law of attraction, now again she keeps repeating the same thing. The law of attraction, where you have to be grateful for what you have to attract success to you. So without gratitude, it is impossible to have permanent success. If you want to keep something in your life, what you have to do is basically say the gratitudes for things that you already have. And if you don't say the gratitude, or if you remain thankful for the things that you have, what happens is whatever you have is taken away. To bring success or increase the good things in your job or work, so same law of attraction, same philosophy applies to job as well. If you want to bring in good blessings, good opportunities, promotions, money, brilliant ideas, appreciation, inspirations, it is essential to be grateful for your job or work. Whatever the job it is you are doing, whether it is small, whether it is your dream job right now, whether it is something else you want, but this is just a stepping stone for whatever your dream job is, make sure that you are thankful for what you got. The more gratitude you have, the more you will have to be grateful for. What does it basically mean is, in your current job right now, or in any situation for that matter, if you are grateful for what you have today, more of the blessings and newses and things will be given to you, for which you can be, or you will be grateful for in the future. And you should be getting the idea by now that to increase anything in your life, this is the key. This is the gist of this whole book, basically. To increase anything in your life, you have to be grateful for what you already have. If you're not grateful for the things that you already have, you cannot increase it in your life. Again, ये वाला जो sentence है, we read it every single day in different context. So today we are going to read it in the context of the job or work. How whoever has gratitude for their work will be given more, and he or she will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude for their work, even what he or she has will be taken from him or her. When you are grateful for your job, you will automatically give more to your work. And when you give more to your work, you will increase the money and success that is returned to you. Why are we doing the jobs? The primary reason for doing a job for most people is basically to make money, to become successful, right? If we are thankful, grateful, in gratitude for our current job, what is going to happen? We get more of those things and more of money and success. If you are not grateful for your job, you will automatically be given less. When you give less, you decrease what comes back to you. And as a result, you will never be happy in your work. How many times do we notice, like, if we do something happily, the outcome of whatever that thing is that we are doing, it increases only because we are doing it happy. And when we are happy, we are definitely more grateful, more thankful, more in gratitude. You will never be happy in your work. You will never give more than you have to. If you're not doing something happily, what's going to happen? You're not going to give your 100%. You're only going to give less. You're going to cut corners. You're going to start finding the shortcuts. And what happens as a result of that? Your job or work will stagnate and eventually deteriorate, which could even mean losing your job. When you are not giving 100%, cutting corners, finding the shortcuts, the quality that you're going to put in the job is going to go less and less and less. And which means what? We can even lose our jobs. Remember, for those who do not have gratitude, even what they have will be taken from them. This is the mantra. Whenever you do not have gratitude for anything, that thing leaves us. And same applies to the work as well. If we are not thankful for the work that we are doing or the job that we are doing, what happens? It's going to be taken away from us. The amount you give in gratitude is exactly proportional to the amount you receive in return. You control the amount you receive by the amount of gratitude you give. Simple formula है. जितना gratitude दोगे, उतना वापस आएगा हर फील्ड में. आज हम फोकस कर रहे हैं वर्क के ऊपर. अपने वर्क पे, पुराने वर्क के जितने ग्रैटिट्यूड आपके अंदर होंगे, भर भर के वही चीजें, वही ब्लेसिंग्स वर्क से रिलेटेड आपको ज्यादा मिलेंगी. मनी ज्यादा मिलेगा, रिकॉग्निशन बॉसेस से, टीम से, कॉलीग से ज्यादा मिलेगी, प्रमोशंस ज्यादा मिलेंगे. जिस भी रीजन से आप अपना काम कर रहे हो, वो सारे रीजंस आपको भर भर के मिलेंगे. Now, what about the business owners? If you are a business owner, your business's value will increase or decrease according to your gratitude. आपके business का जो net worth है, that's gonna fluctuate depending on how much gratitude do you have. The more grateful you are for your business, customers, every business का जो end है, वो कौन है? Customers. If somebody is not happy because of their customers, if somebody is not happy because of the employees, what happens? They're not going to be growing much in the business. If they're happy, the business is going to continue to grow. The more grateful you are for your business, the customers, your employees, which are also the key for any business, the more the business will grow and increase. It is when business owners stop being grateful and replace gratitude with worry that their business spirals downward. If you are a parent and your work is taking care of your children and managing your home, look for the things to be grateful for at this time in your life. This is also a key. Sometimes when parents are taking care of children, they think it is less of a job, or sometimes they even feel it is not a job. But it is one of the most important jobs, right? So don't treat it just because somebody's home or they are in between jobs sometimes. हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस फ्लक्चुएट होने लग जाता है. That should not happen. We are, whatever responsibilities we have to fulfill in a day, treat that as your job for the day. It is often a once in a lifetime opportunity when you can be grateful for this time. You will attract more support, more help, more beautiful moments, and more happiness to the experience. You should love your job. Like I really want to stress on this. When we say job, don't focus and don't tie the word job going out and earning money. Job can be business, job can be taking care of children, whether it is for a longer period of time or a shorter period of time, whether it is only when you are in between two um, jobs when you are going to go out and earn some money. Whatever you're doing today, I know I'm repeating myself, but whatever you are bound to do today as a responsibility, consider that as your job. You should love your job, whatever it is, and be excited about going to work, and you shouldn't settle for anything less. If you don't feel that way about your current job, or if it's not your dream job, the way to receive your dream job is by first being grateful for the job you have. Whatever you're doing today, be grateful for that to get to your dream jobs or whatever you want to do in life. So आज की exercise में what are we going to do is imagine that you have an invisible manager whose job it is to keep a record of the thoughts and feelings you have about your job. Imagine that your manager will follow you wherever you go today. In other words, imagine that this is a micromanager. This manager is following you wherever you're going today, poised with pen and notebook in hand. And when this micromanager is following you, he or she is not just following you in person. They have a pen and a paper. Every time you find something about your job to be grateful for, your manager will make a note of it. Your job is to find as many things as you can to be grateful for. So at the end of the day, your manager has a long list of your gratitude. And whenever you feel good, the manager is going to write it down. And at the end of the day, what's going to happen is they're going to have a list of all the things that you're happy with. There is actually a movie. I don't know if you guys have all watched. I haven't watched the movie. I have read the book because I enjoy reading more Pollyanna. It's a classic novel written in 1939 by Eleanor, and I forgot the last name, which is okay. But it is about a small girl, Pollyanna, and she is in a difficult situation and she goes and live with her aunt. And everything that happens in Pollyanna's life, um, she keeps on saying, I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad. And it is such a nice book. And I am sure the movie is going to be as nice. Movie छोटी होगी, movie 1-1.5 घंटे में खत्म हो जाएगी. Book is also a quick read, but I would strongly suggest कि या तो मूवी देखो या फिर बुक पढ़ो. And you're going to see how this girl who is going through very difficult circumstances. She's about 12 years old in the book, if I'm not mistaken, around that age. And every situation she keeps saying, I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad. And on a funny note, I was with some of the friends day before yesterday, and they wrote a card for me, and they associated me with Pollyanna, and they actually called me Pollyannu. And they said, keep this going because they really enjoy. So this exercise, when you keep on finding, I'm so glad in your life, I'm so glad because this happened, I'm so glad. It's not just that you are happy, even your people around you um, starts noticing, and they like, so there comes a time when they also start catching on to your contagious um, energy of I'm so glad. I really felt good when they wrote in the card, instead of Pollyanna, they called me Pollyannu. I felt very good with that. At least those 7, 8 friends of mine, they have caught on to that energy of me. Okay, I digressed. Let's come back to the book. So, the longer the list is, the more magic your invisible manager can bring to your money, your success, opportunities, enjoyment, and fulfillment. So think about this manager. Nobody likes a micromanager, I know. But think about this manager following you as the most micromanager. And he or she is going to take a note of all the feelings throughout the day. And he or she, your manager, is going to make a list of all the things that you're grateful for throughout the day. And the more you're grateful for throughout the day, what's going to happen? You're going to get more success, opportunities, enjoyment, fulfillment. And that is what we look for, right? So we're going to do this exercise too. Think about all the things you could be grateful for in your work. To begin with, think about the fact that you actually have a job. This is very important. And job, once again, doesn't necessarily mean you are going out. घर में बच्चे देख रहे हैं. Be thankful we have kids. Be thankful we have a house. अगर अभी तक हम उस motherhood या fatherhood की stage पे नहीं आए हैं. Be thankful for the house that I need to take care of right now. A lot of people don't even have that. So start with that thought. Think about how many people are unemployed. Who would give anything to have a job? Think about the time-saving equipment you use, phones, printers, internet, computers. Think about the people you work with. I'm going to give you an example here, the equipment and the technology that we use. I do real estate too. So I remember the days back in the day, every time we have to get a signature of the client, we had to go meet the client personally. Every signature, if the paper was moving back and forth 7 times in the negotiation, we had to meet the client 7 times. Nowadays, we just use the DocuSign, AuthentiSign. There are so much technology sitting on this desk. जहाँ से मैं अपनी ये class B या session भी ले रही हूँ. I sit on the same desk, few clicks, and we do everything electronic. How much time do I save right now? It's like, it's a magic for me. I can just sit here, don't even meet the clients. I love my clients, but I don't have to spend time commuting. So all the technology equipment that you use, think about that. Think about the people you work with and the friendships you have with them. How many times have we made friendships with our colleagues? How does your colleagues help you? Think about the people who make your job easier: receptionists, assistants, janitors, most forgetted people, delivery people. Think about how good it feels when you receive your paycheck. And think about the favorite aspects of your job that you love doing. Everybody is going to have a favorite aspect. Why am I in this job? Think about that. Have your invisible manager make a note each time you find something you are grateful for by saying, I'm so grateful for what? I'm so, like in my example, I'm so grateful for Authenticign. I don't have to travel to client's location. I'm so grateful for Zoom, where we are able to do this session. The more deeply your manager can see you are feeling gratitude, the sooner your manager can start to make the magic happen in your life, in your work. And the more magic will be created. इसको एक दूसरी तरह से देखो, when we are working, right? We work, we put in a lot of efforts. What are we really trying to do? In a nutshell, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to impress our bosses, impress our manager, so that we can grow in our jobs, whether it is financially, corporate ladder, vertical, horizontal. Our ultimate goal is to impress our bosses. When you are doing this exercise, this is an imaginary boss, right? But you are doing this exercise with a feeling. Think about, who are you actually impressing? You are impressing the universe. You are impressing the power, whichever you believe in, whatever you call that power. If a person who is your manager can promote you at work, if a person who is a manager at your job can decide your financial outcome from your job, think about, what can universe decide for you if you can do this exercise and impress the universe? I hope that makes sense for everybody. It is possible that you could generate so much gratitude for your work in one day that you would see the circumstances instantly improve. Lucky breaks don't happen by accident. They are simply gratitude's magical power at work. And once again, when you are doing gratitude, who are you really impressing? You are impressing the universe or the supreme power, whatever you call that power. If this works like magic practice falls on a weekend, or when you are not at work, which it is actually today for us, move on to the next day's practice or practices, and then go back and use this magical practice on the first day you are back at work. My suggestion is, do not leave this practice. I know it is a weekend, not everybody works on Saturday. Consider your home as your job. And whatever you're doing at your home today, taking care of the house, cleaning, kids key classes, consider that as your job, and imagine that there is a micromanager or a manager sitting on your shoulder, and do this exercise. And when you go back to your work, on whenever the work comes, or the volunteer, some of us do volunteer too, when you go back to the volunteer, do this exercise again for the outside work that we do, whether it is volunteer or job. So we are going to do it twice, today at home and once whenever we go out on Monday or whenever we go out for volunteering. Magic practice number 6. आज की practice अपनी day 1 वाली practice, repeat steps 1 2 3 जो हमने day 1 में किया था. Morning में उठ के write your 10 blessings, write what, write why, and at the end of 10 blessings, reread them and say thank you, thank you, thank you at the end of each gratitude. While at work today, imagine you have an invisible manager, and I want to stress that this invisible manager is a very micromanager. He or she is watching you every second, following you around, taking notes every time you find something to be grateful for. Your job today is to look for as many things as you can be grateful for. Have your manager make a note each time you find something you are grateful for by saying, I am so grateful for what? And feel as grateful as you can. And रात को सोने से पहले we do our magic rock. कोई भी question आज से या पीछे के 5 chapters में. I cannot see the participants. Okay, now I can see the participants. Any question? No? Good. Today we are done in 30 minutes. I like it. That doesn't mean that nobody should ask question anytime, but it's good. Okay. If there is nothing, then we can call this session off, and then we're going to connect tomorrow again. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.